Hello and welcome everybody. Today we've got the Wargame Cup final match for you. It's between Delta, who's a well-known player, highly ranked, very good strategical player, and FIFA. You should know FIFA from our casts. He did very well in the tournament, and yeah, let's see. As always, I have FIFA, my co-caster, here with us. At first, congratulations, you did very well for your final one. So,
Yeah, thanks, Inoka. Yeah, I'm happy with the results of the game, you could say.
yeah, understandable. Okay, um, let's talk about the deployment. I'm here at Delta side. The map is Hell's Highway, by the way. Um, it's the maps in the tournament almost were maps which are like mirrored. Hell's Highway is one of the few only maps which is not a mirrored, so it's different. The spots are different, so there are some advantages and disadvantages for each spot, and yeah. Most annoying thing is you have to practice both sides if you want to prepare perfectly. So it's for the final, in my opinion, maybe not the perfect map, but that's how the circle was. So let's have a look at Delta's deployment. He's starting with two commands, protected each by 4 flag panzers, which is actually pretty interesting. Delta always does this, and for me personally, I'm not sure if this is really good, because a good player could outmicro them with Mi-17s or Cobras relatively easy because of the range and stuff. So I'm not sure, but Delta tends to do this, and yeah, that's relatively usual for him. Then he has like 8 of the Marder VTS1 unvetted, and 2 Leopard 2A4 in one group, and 2 AMX-30 Ronin 2, some Recon, 12 Vaps here with Chasseurs, I suppose, some Gazelles, and some Weasels here with 4 TBZ Fuchs with Jägers, I think. No Recon helicopter, but yeah, let's see. What FIFA deployed?
Before I talk about my own deployment, an interesting note on the VAPs. I see they are at VAT3, so...
Ah, didn't see. Oh yeah, his webs are on Web 3, all of them. Well, this is actually really interesting. So, on the forums there were discussions about chasseurs. Normal chasseurs on veterancy are overpowered and wiping out everything. So yeah, let's see how this 12 chasseurs will perform. It's actually really expensive, this 12 chasseurs. It's like a little bit like of so I think he will flank with his troops, so it's an all-in that his flank attack is successful a little bit now, because yeah. So let's see. Anything else you want to mention about Delta's deployment?
No, so I guess I can start talking about my deployment.
Yeah, sure.
Well, as I mentioned before in the previous cast, I tend to study my opponents, and depending on what I think my opponent will do, I will adjust my build accordingly.
Yeah.
So I and you, Inoka, watched a few replays of Delta, and although he does try to vary his play all through the tournament, there are some consistencies that I noticed and that you noticed, and so I try to anticipate on that and try to build the perfect build to counter it. So what I noticed was that he likes to have a flanking force of at least 8 APCs with infantry in them,
Yeah.
and sometimes even more.
Yeah.
So that flanking force is a real danger, and he uses it quite effectively to overrun enemies and kill CVs. So what you want to do against that flanking force is either ignore it completely and let it come to you to a strong defensive position, or you build a stronger flank than him and try to crush that flank. So in this case, I opted to go for the second option. Let the strong flank come to me, to my strong defensive position, and let it run dry.
So the first option, yeah.
Was it the first?
Yeah, I think you mentioned the first that you ignore the flank and let him come to your strong defense. Um, yeah, that's true. On this map, it's interesting because it's relatively usual that some guys try to flank here between Golf, Delta, Charlie to come with some APCs. So if you decide to go to this side and defend the flank with an own flank, you have to spend a lot of troops, but it can get really expensive. In this case, Delta a little bit counted on that you will try to defend his flanks. That's why he weathered them, I think, and took 12 and not 8, according to what he usually does. So if you try to defend this, you have to spend a lot of money, which you can't use in your main fight, in your attacking fight, which goes usually at Echo between Bravo and Foxtrot. So
That is very true, but the reverse is of course also true for Delta. Since he spent so much money on his strong flank, that means that he has to weaken his main force, the one that will fight over Echo.
yeah,
And anticipating that, I try to make my main force as strong as possible, force an early engagement at Echo, and get away with the point advantage. And after that, I can play defensive and let him come to me.
yeah, indeed. And another advantage of ignoring the flank in this case is you usually, as I mentioned, fight between Echo and Foxtrot. So if you have a big force going for Echo, and if you confident that you will win this fight or gain ground here, you can place your CV in Echo initially, and the other CV in Bravo is relatively close to your main force, so you don't need that much of command defense itself because your main force can act as command defense if a flanking attack comes. So that was the main strategy line for FIFA's match here. Am I right?
Yeah, you're correct. And this map requires more micro than the previous one, folder gap. So yeah, that's as I said, that's how I used that's how I built my deck. And I'm taking all the martyrs at Fed 1, the Bradleys, because they gave me so much luck previous round.
Yeah.
And 2 Leopard 2A force as my main force. And I will have my own flanking force consisting of fast-moving troops, the ML links and the VEPs, that can flank my opponent's main force at Echo.
Yeah. As I see, you have some anti-air with you, which is really smart, of course, because of some Cobras or anything which can try to wipe this out. Disadvantage here is that the Lynx and the Webs are relatively fast and the Saracens are relatively slow. So an option you can choose, you could deploy 2 webs and unload the blowpipes and inload them into the webs in the beginning. But this requires a lot of micro and can cost you some time. So in some cases it can be useful to do that. But yeah, it's not necessary, of course.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay, I would say, as always, let's do a countdown and start on go. So, 3, 2, 1, and go. So, Delta is deploying, is ordering his webs first, the flanking force. So, let's see where they go. His Cobras are starting. I think the Cobras mainly to protect him from airdrops or something like that. Some nasty ones.
My first move is securing the reinforcement line from Bravo, because as you mentioned, this map is not mirrored, and one of the annoying features of this map is if you start on the side that I start, it's pretty easy to drop some infantry in that little building. So
yeah,
if you drop like 2 Delta 4 squads in it, it will be a pain in the ass to dislodge them.
Yeah, it can be really annoying, and you need some money. If somebody is blocking your spawn, you need at least like 100 points, or better 150 points to deploy at one time in infantry and maybe autocannons to clear your spawn, and this can be can take some time, and you can't deploy other things which would be more useful in this moment. So you don't want to have your opponent to block your spawn that early, especially not on this map.
Yeah, and here we will see an interesting fight that annoyed me during the match. I thought with 2 Gazelle Cannon versus 2 Gazelle Cannon that I would at least manage to take one of them out, but...
Yeah, I see. I think that's actually funny because he grouped his Gazelles and you didn't. And I think in the end this is one what gave him the advantage in this fight. Because the two gazelles fire at the same time, and if you don't have them in a group, in a platoon, they don't fire at the same time, so he had a little bit better focus firing. It's interesting. Didn't know that. This makes that much of a difference. Okay. You dropped some recon at Charlie to see if a flanking force is coming, which is really smart, of course. Some chasseurs here in the small building, I think for the same recon reasons. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, my two forces have arrived at Echo, and as I said, I try to force an early engagement so I can get away with the point advantage.
Yeah, it's really interesting. If you look at the amount of troops, you have 2 Leopards, 2 A4 as well, and you have 12 Martyrs, and he has only 4 Martyrs, and that's it. And you have like the whole Lynx armies, you have the Bradley, you have 4 Martyrs more than him, so this is actually no point for him to fight here. He has some Weasels and Fuchses on the backside. I'm not sure why he's keeping them there, but without this, Weasels and stuff, he has no chance and no point here to fight against you. Has no ATG.
Yeah, and here I make a stupid mistake.
Yeah.
Since I micromanaged in a way that I grouped the Martyr Rolands with my Martyrs and Leopard Wave Force.
Yeah.
Used the attack move towards Foxtrot. The Martyr Rolands will keep on moving until they meet some air. So.
Yeah. That's relatively annoying in this case for you, of course. But funny thing, Delta did the same. He kept his ARM AMX 30 Rolands. And yeah, they will die, but one of your Roland died as well, which, yeah, wouldn't have been necessary for you especially. But I know that it happens sometimes to me as well.
So, meanwhile, Delta's flanking force was 12 elite Veps, veteran Veps, are moving into Bravo.
Yeah, but
my recon has seen it.
Yeah, your recon has seen it. He has also has 2 Gazelles on your backside. And meanwhile, you almost completely wiped his Martyrs, Martyr VTS 1 also. He has 5 of them left. The Leopards are still alive. But you completely took Echo. And that's what your basic plan was. This 10 Chasseurs actually killed already 2 of his elite webs. So they definitely paid out for them.
Yeah, it's always wise to garrison those little buildings that are placed strategically around the map.
Yeah.
As you can see, they are very good little choke points that force your opponent to waste a lot of troops.
Okay, you just called in your second CV. And yeah, you're moving back your forces to protect you from this flank attack, especially the infantry. Now your blowpipes take out this Gazelle cannons. Oh, he's actually microed them pretty well, I think, because he's keeps his Gazelles behind this wood, so your blowpipes can fire at it.
And Leopard Wave Force are fighting with my Leopard Wave Force.
Yeah, but you have the Bradley, which is a big advantage for you, of course. And one already gone down.
Did they shoot him in the rear armor?
Yeah, I think he fell back because of the Bradley, and I think the side armor or the rear armor. I didn't see it perfectly because I had my attention at his flanking attack. So, as you can see, these chasseurs are panicked, but they're still fighting like they have nothing what attack them because of the veterans. See, now they're routing when they took like 1,000 shells. He still got 4 VIBs here in the backside of Bravo, but at this point you have so much defense here, there's no point for him with this few Veps on chasseurs to get to your command or create any threat for this command. So yeah. Okay, now your blowpipes.
Yeah, but yeah, the strength of Delta's play though is that he forces you to make one move so he can do the other move, especially to counter that. So in this case, he forced all my ground units to defend against the ground push, but meanwhile he called in 2 Cobras and 2 Gazelle cannons to hunt my CVs.
Yeah, I think this is actually pretty funny because you did the mistake before with the Martyr Roland charge. And I'm pretty sure he knew about that. He saw it, of course. Somehow he killed your second Martyr Roland, I think when the Leopards come forward. Maybe that was even the reason why he charged. Because now he has the Gazelle cannons and the Cobras at your command, and only the Bradley with the autocannon and some buffs which are coming now are here to protect the command. Okay, the command gets damage from the Cobra, but somehow it survived with 2 life points, and now he's pulling his Cobras back.
Yeah, he did that very smartly. He used the Gazelle cannons to fly, to hover over my CV, and
Yeah.
use the Cobras to do the actual damage.
Yeah, it was like his kind of recon and damage tanker. It's really smart indeed. Yeah. So he didn't lose the Cobras. I think he maybe could have had a chance to kill the command with the Cobras, but you can never be sure, and these are 80 points, so a good decision to fall back as well. So he just called in 4 new Mara VTS I's, VTS 1s, better say. He does not buy them on Veterancy, which is interesting. I think if you buy them on Veterancy 1, you get way more effective martyrs, in my opinion. But yeah, sometimes if you don't have the money, it's okay or good to do that as well. Meanwhile, you're Bradley shelling at the martyr VTS 1s, taking out one by one. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's massacring. It is.
Yeah. This Bradley is your lucky charm in the last games, definitely. His last Chasseurs and Bravo get wiped out by the VTS ones. Yeah.
Yeah, at this stage I have like a 500 point lead, and
Yeah.
there's little point for me to try to engage him. I have the good income zone echo and a bigger point lead, so all I
Yeah.
have to do now is wait out the game and force him to try to dislodge me.
Yeah, indeed. So in fact, he got this is his formatter VTS ones, the 2 Cobras, the Leopard, and he just called in and Bradley. But that's pretty much everything he has left, and you didn't lose that much yet. He also lost his 12, better said 11 Chasseurs, which were in Wet 3. One squad is here at Charlie. And yeah, these 700 points or even 800 points. You're ahead now. Meanwhile, he's pushing his command from Golf to Delta with the 4 Flak Panzers. Okay, he has this recon mod here, but in my opinion, it's actually really brave because he can't know if you have placed some infantry here in the wooded Delta.
Yeah, it's always when you look at the replay after the game, and if you thought if only I had placed like 1 or 2 Chasseur squad in that little forest.
Yeah, true. But you can never know. But as I mentioned, relatively brave of Delta, but maybe this Delta zone is Delta's lucky charm. Okay,
Oh, meanwhile, Delta caught in a Bradley. Perhaps he got annoyed by the success of my Bradleys and tried to emulate that.
yeah, indeed. The Bradleys are really strong units. Especially this Recon Bradley is a little bit overpowered. In my opinion, they could nerf him a little bit. He got the 12 missiles, the awesome Ito ATGM, and the Bushmaster autocannon is very good as well. And yeah, the Bradley is really strong. Especially
Well,
the
it
Recon
has
one.
a very weak armor, so you can take it out. But if you micro it decently, it
Yeah.
is a beast.
Yeah, the Bradley needs a lot of love, but if you give the Bradley the love and micro, it will pay out like every game. Okay.
That's very.
Yeah. Now you try to recon with some chasseurs. Yeah. You have the Bradley here, but if you don't count
No,
the
as
what? Yeah.
no, as I said, the Bradley is way too weak, and I know that he has a Leopard 2A4 there. So, yeah, you mentioned you need to give it love, so that means not sending it on suicide missions. That's
Yeah,
what
sure.
the chasseurs are.
Yeah, sure. What I just wanted to say was that you have the Bradley here, but I don't really count the Bradley as a recon unit. It is a recon unit, of course, but I don't really use it to recon for reconnaissance. I use it because of the ATGM, of course. And if you don't count the Bradley, you have a small lack of recon here at Echo. Because if you have had like some mud jeep or something like that, you could have seen this leopard maybe for your Bradley to take it out.
Actually, that fab that is moving on the left side of Echo contains a Republic.
Yeah, okay, now it arrives. Can't finish my sentence, and you already did what I. Yeah, very good. So yeah,
So meanwhile, I know that the only way for Delta to win this game is to snipe my CV. So I'm strengthening the protection of Bravo and Echo with the M1 M113s,
yeah,
the empty APCs.
yeah, they are really strong because they cost like 5 points and have the M2 Browning and caliber 50 machine gun, and this is really strong against every light unit like helicopters, infantry, and APCs. For this 5 points, you get a relatively decent gun. So yeah, they are good, of course. Now your Republic were spotted, but now they are not spotted anymore. Very good. Before the Leopard could take them down, and now you have spotted the Leopard. You can see it.
Indeed,
Yeah.
I can see it, but I think at this stage of the game, my attention was on the right flank where the Bradley and Marder is.
Yeah, sure. Good decision because as we saw in this game, the Bradley can be really dangerous, and yeah, you need to pay attention if Bradley is around, of course. Yeah, I think Delta had the same problem because he would have seen that you spotted his leopard, and I think he might have moved it because he knew that you have a Bradley here, and yeah, it can be really dangerous. I see just in the moment that your command at Echo is not repaired completely. That's actually
Yeah, you're right. That's a mistake of mine. If that AMX outfit decided
to show the other wood. You could have been in trouble a little bit, but yeah.
instead it tried to kill my gazelle cannon, which is
Okay.
pretty
Now the
interesting.
Bradley shot at the leopard, but missed.
No, it fired at its maximum range, so when I pulled it back a
Yeah,
bit,
yeah, yeah. True. That's always a good tip. If you have a heavy tank fighting against an ATGM troop, you know when it's moving towards you that he's not in his effective range, and if he starts to fire, you just have to pull back 1 meter, and then the max range is reached, and the ATGM will never hit.
so meanwhile I try to take his Bradley out with my Bradley, so there's a duo of Bradleys here.
Yeah, duel of Bradley, but the M3 Bradley has the hiding advantage because it's a recon unit. Let's see. Meanwhile, he deployed some Fuchs for this woods here, maybe to flank you with some infantry again.
Yeah, that's always annoying. As I mentioned, there's a nice forest at the back of that reinforcement arrow and that
Yeah,
building, so it's you need to spend the resources to defend the reinforcement zone. While on Foxtrot, it's all empty ground. So
yeah, indeed. Yeah, I think I personally like the Hotel spawn way more than the Alpha spawn for me. If I start, so his Alfie is still shelling at the direction where he expects your command, and now
uh,
it almost hit it. No, it hit it actually. It lost 1 life point. It is worked, but now his Alfie is out of fuel. Fuel. Ammunition, I mean, of course. Okay, now your Bradley is moving forward, but his Bradley is aiming first.
yeah,
You immediately
that's
move
why
back,
I moved back, even reversed.
and yeah, the
Now
Mr.
he's coming to me,
He's
and
coming to
I
you
aim.
because he clicked on you, attack, and when you were out of the range, and he still saw you, he engaged, of course. Okay, now he's moving, but you're moving as well because of the Cobra. Okay, yeah, funny. Meanwhile, you deployed some of these recoilless rifles. They can be really strong as well. Okay, I think I just missed that your Bradley took down
Yeah,
the
I
other
just
Bradley.
missed it.
Yeah. Okay, poor Bradley. Lucky Bradley. Yeah.
The transport Fuchs are getting closer. I think I detected them on time.
Yeah. Yeah. At the moment they're not spotted, but you must have seen them for a second. Um. Yeah.
And on the right flank, I see 8 Leopard 1A1s. So he's
Ah, sure.
probably trying to force me out of the echo zone.
Out of the Echo Zone. Okay, this is really interesting because he knows about your ATGM coverage here. Still have the Leopard 2A4 here as well. And this Recon's rifles, some links, and actually 2 Recon Bradleys. Okay, funny. Yeah, I think he had maybe a little bit bad feeling about his Delta CV, and he wanted to make, as you saw, the Leopard 2A1, 1A1 cost 25 points. This Recoilless rifles cost 10 points, and they already took down 2 of them with a loss of 1.
Yeah, but at this stage, it's really already one game. The way Delta now probably tries to win is trying to attack me from multiple sides and hope that I make a mistake so he can
Yeah,
gain a CV kill.
true. Okay, the Bradley just missed the Leopard because it dodged. This was a good move of Delta. Of course, it's already a 1 for you. You have more than 1000 points in the lead. You have the same income, but you killed 1000 points more, worth more troops, so you must do a really bad mistake, or Delta must have really big luck to turn this into a win for him.
And
Yeah,
at this stage, I have like 2 Bradleys at Echo, so there's like a zone of death around the effective range of the ATGM of the Bradleys, and I don't think that any tank will survive within that range.
yeah, sure. Actually, he's shelling on your links, not on your Bradley. Um, the Bradleys would maybe have been a better target, but yeah. In the end, it doesn't really matter in this stage. That's true. Okay, you try to recon a little bit with the Republic.
Yeah, since this is a tournament game, I want to play this as careful as possible. But in a ranked game, I rarely am that patient, and I would have rushed Delta, for example.
Yeah, sure. I know that, but yeah, there's especially there's no need for you to do anything at the moment because yeah, you have like 1000 points of advantage. You have a shitload of troops everywhere, and yeah, 20 minutes left. You could just wait, but of course you can try to do some kills and force him to surrender or to do more mistakes.
Yeah, at this stage I plan to take Delta, but I needed to call in some infantry to act as an screening.
Indeed, yeah. Okay, Itos are firing. Missed. It's shaken, so it won't hit anything, and the leopard takes it down with 1 shot. That's ridiculous. I just had a ranked game against Komaromi, and my leopard 2A4 shot 2 times on a command, and it didn't hit.
Yeah, as you said, sometimes you need luck to win the game.
Yeah, it's true.
So I called in the 4 Saracens from Bravo to clear out Delta.
Yeah.
But then I saw the Jaggers that are entering.
Your
Bravo.
your supply zone.
So I pulled them back to clear that little infantry push out.
Yeah, good choice, definitely.
And meanwhile, there's also some transport fuchs coming from the back of Bravo.
Yeah, he did this actually really smart. I think you didn't notice it. He sneaked around of this Republic's recon infantry, and yes, but the problem is the sneak attack has, in the end, it has no point because, of course, he knows that you have your CV in this front bush, and he knows that you have a lot of troops around there. So he has not really big chances to take the CV out with his Fuchses, but he has to try. I think he has no other perspectives to win this game.
Yeah, and in the end, we all stick to the game style that we are most comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I am most comfortable with leading big tank armies and trying to crush my opponent head on, while Delta is more of the guy that take advantage of weak points and snipes off CVs.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, no. Did the Bradley hit this Fuchs? No, he did not. But actually looked like a little bit.
Well, the Bradleys are epic, but not that epic.
Yeah. But now he's aiming at the Fuchs. And yeah,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, on max range. Ridiculous. Yeah, it all already was in wet one, I suppose. So yeah. Okay. You are now like 1,100 points ahead.
Yeah, and my zones are secure as they will ever be.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, and Delta surrendered. Yeah, very good game on your side. um, as always, what I can say about, as always, FIFA, I helped him, of course, prepared very good to the game. It's in such a tournament, it's always important to get as much replays of your opponent as possible and just analyze his style and look for some how did you say it in the intro, look for some things which are repeating in every match.
Some consistencies,
Yeah, some
even though
consistencies. Yeah,
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 people
sure.
try to vary their play, but there are always some units that you like to use or some habits that you can't lose.
Yeah, and
And
some
if you can
styles you
recognize
prefer.
those, you can take advantage of it.
Yeah, sure. And especially in such a tournament, it's very important to prepare good and try to think like your opponent and try to think what he can do and try with your friends and teammates how how your opponent can play and try to play like them. Tell them that they should play like your opponent should or would do, and yeah, so you can prepare really good. In fact, we played a couple of games on Hell's Highway, and I played one game today where I think I played almost exactly the same like Delta did in this game. Had like almost the same deployment, not exactly, but in the end it was relatively similar. And yeah, so in this way you can prepare really good, and if you prepare good, there can't happen so much. That's just it.
Indeed, and while the previous game was more about macro and strategy, this game I think it was more about micro and just getting the points.
Yeah, well, I think in the end the strategy was important as well because, as we mentioned, you knew that there will come sneaking attacks and flanking attacks with infantry, and so you knew that you have to take care of your civies even more than you do in the other games and yeah, this is a kind of strategy as well. But
Yeah, true,
indeed,
but in this round I had more fun microing my Bradleys.
yeah, sure. Folder Gap is a really bad example for this, of course. I think the maps like Straight Ahead are good examples, or yeah, Hell's Highway, of course. You can have a good head-on tank battles on these maps, and yeah, this is fun indeed. So, to the viewers, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it, and we could give you some tips and tricks to play. Like always, we try to share some of our knowledge. And yeah, if you liked it, we would really appreciate if you click the subscribe button. And I hope we see you the next time. Ciao.
See you.
Oh, do you have any last words to the tournament or to the game?
Well,
FIFA?
I do have some questions since the tournament ended. We kind of need some new good replays to cast, so
Yeah, definitely. Um, okay, on this point, I can announce something. I actually planned private, unofficial 1v1 tournament. I think when the match about the third place is played, I will announce it in a forum thread. And yeah, I'm not sure about the conditions and stuff, but I will do a thread. I will mention it in the next video as well. And yeah, so we will have a small 1v1 tournament, and everybody can participate.
well, actually, it wouldn't be a good idea to have like an wargame airland battle beta 1v1 tournament.
Yeah, would be definitely a good idea, but I think there's one problem. I'm not sure if we are allowed to cast.
Non-disclosure agreement
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, I think that we will have something like that. So, um, I think we won't be allowed to cast replays of the Allen Battle Beta. But if you have some good, decent replays, you can contact me on Steam. You can find me as Anoka. You can find me in game as Anoka. You can contact me in the forum. We're always looking for good replays to cast, and if you have any questions or anything, just use the comment area or private message. And yeah.
Yeah, I guess that was it. I think I should do the usual stuff and thank everyone for supporting me in this tournament. You, Enoka especially, and also Komarami for helping me practice.
Welcome.
And, Yugen System for developing this game, and Focus Interactive for organizing this and giving me the money. But yeah, and the viewers who watched the cast. So yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was an interesting game.
Now time to pop the champagne bottles. Okay.
No, I have exams next week, so back to studying.
Oh, okay. Actually, not the best timing, but yeah. Okay. That's it. See you the next time, guys. Bye. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, bye.